Arkansas duo Rightfield started as just a few pals, and now are quickly on the rise in the indie alt-pop scene. This band released their debut album, RIGHTFIELD ONE, in January, closely followed by their deluxe version in May. But they didn't stop there, following with their latest release, Baby, and hopefully something as we're releasing this episode. Their sound is really unique, and they pull from so many different genres, and that's why I adore them, and that just makes Rightfield sound like Rightfield. Welcome to the show, Jack and Reed.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, pumped to be here.
If you guys want to introduce yourselves, so people not watching the video know who's talking.
My name's Jack. I sing and do stuff.
My name is Reed.
Rightfield.
I do all the non-singing things with my hands.
Yeah, I think that describes it very well.
Was that good? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
We didn't practice that part.
Yeah.
What was the first thing you guys listened to today?
Actually, the first
Today.
thing I listened to was the new Midland EP.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first thing I listened to was a demo of ours, and the second thing I listened to was Pilot Jones by Frank Ocean.
Interesting. Frank Ocean is you
Yeah.
can't mess it up.
It's true. It's true.
The second thing I listened to was Breakfast by Half Alive while I ate.
Ooh,
It was good.
that's also a great one. I've been on heavy repeat of Easy by Troye Sivan and Kacey Musgraves, which is
course.
like
Awesome.
it's old, but like I think that's like
It's
the
so
best
good.
like pump song. It's very good. It's very good.
That's like one of the best whoops in pop music. Woo! That
And then
part?
like it comes in with
So good.
it's like as they talk about sirens. I don't know. I
Oh, yeah.
can't stop listening to it more recently.
It's awesome.
Casey's the queen.
Yeah, we love Kacey.
I had this like affinity against her a few years ago for no
Oh, yeah.
reason whatsoever. I just like did not like her. And my friend finally like gave me the juice, and I haven't stopped since, and I absolutely adore her, and I hope she releases some tour dates soon because I need my
Yeah.
brain rocked.
Our producer in Nashville, we were working with him when we were doing the album, and he started playing some of her music, and Reed and I had never listened to her like this past fall, and he was pretty mad at us for that, and like played the entire album start to finish. We saw the light.
It's
We saw
fantastic.
We did. It's a
We
great
saw
album.
some of our buddies huddled over the record player, just going, "Oh, listen to that snare."
Oh, you hear that snare?
So I like to tell everybody how I found bands on here, because right now music discovery is like very wild, and there's 3 million different ways to find people. But I found you guys through a TikTok where I think his name was Jacob Ruth. He was playing your song.
Yeah.
It came on my For You page. I think he was drinking coffee, and I was like, this is a jam.
That is so awesome. Jake's one of our best friends,
That's funny.
and
Well,
he's famous on TikTok.
And
he's
it's great.
coming down to Dallas next week to hang
Oh,
with us.
really?
Yeah, he like shoots all of our photos and videos for the most part,
I was
And-
going to talk about how I
and
love your
dances to
visuals.
coffee. Yeah, yeah,
Multi-talented dude.
he is, man. I want to be more like him.
But I think it's funny because a lot of my friends send me songs and they're like, oh, you're going to really like this. You're going to really like this. And probably about 3 weeks ago, my friend sent me Dreaming. And I was like, I've heard this. Don't
Cool.
fret. But I'm glad you now are listening to it.
That's awesome. That's
We
great
love
to
to
hear.
play that one live. It's very fun.
We do. Yeah.
I bet. You guys have been playing shows recently. How has that been?
Awesome. We played one 2 days ago.
2 days ago was the first one in a while. It
That
was
is
really fun.
fantastic. And
Yeah, our first time playing Dallas, really ever. It was
since
awesome.
moving there?
Yeah, since moving there.
We're both from Dallas before we went to college in Arkansas, but in college we played like a few acoustic coffee shop gigs while we were kind of starting to form the band. But this was like our first real show. It was awesome.
I haven't been to a show yet, and I'm like, I think there's like one next week in DC that I'm probably going to go to, and I'm just so eager.
You have to. You have to get out there. So
Who are you
I'm
seeing? Do you know? Do you know who you're
there's a
seeing?
band local to me called Cal Rifkin. They just very like like rock pop. I'm so bad with genres because everything I listen
Dope.
to is like such a mishmash of like 30 different genres.
Oh yeah,
But very good, great dudes too. But
Cal
for
Rifkin.
you
There we go.
guys, what did you guys grow up listening to? Because obviously there's a lot of different influences in your music. So I'm curious of what you kind of grew up with.
I grew up listening to a lot of like singer-songwriter and old country music. That was kind of my first love in music, I guess, and I still really do love that. And I tend to like just if it's just me writing with an acoustic guitar, it kind of goes that direction more so than not. But probably not as much country. I don't have a country accent, but but yeah, that's kind of what I grew up listening to. Loved listening to like 90s and early 2000s hip hop um, more in the past like 5 years. But yeah,
yeah, my music taste has been, I would say it's been pretty consistent. I grew up listening to a lot of scene musics like pop punk and metalcore and stuff like that, and then also like 90s country, and that's still the bulk of what I listen to are those two things. But an artist that we both like really love that we've grown to love is called Dope Lemon. We're both
oh
really
yeah, oh yeah.
everybody's got to listen to Dope Lemon.
Do you know Angus and Julius Stone? They sing that song "Big Jet Plane."
Yeah.
It's Dope Lemon is Angus Stone's project.
Okay. All right.
Oh, and it's
I'm
so good. It's so cool.
Good. Ridiculous.
I'm gonna listen to it as soon as we get off of this.
Yeah, cool.
That's fascinating. And you guys have like such an interesting formation story, I guess is the best way to put it. So for those who don't know, you guys were friends in kindergarten, you knew each other and kind of grew up around each other, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
So can you guys kind of talk about that and how you guys got back together almost?
We
Yeah,
actually went to
yeah.
school through eighth grade, through
Hmm.
seventh grade. Yeah. Then I
Played
left.
sports together.
Yeah, we did. Baseball, all the good stuff.
Hmm.
Then I left, went to a different high school. Then I transferred to the same college that Jack was going to. We lived in the same dorm, so we started hanging out.
Yeah,
I imagine the
we
Spider-Man meme of like you guys just like walk into each other and like, whoa, you're here too?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't even remember how we got reconnected after. I mean, somehow we figured out that we were living in the same dorm and both had guitars in our dorms.
It's crazy to think about too, because we both changed so much, like since
Yeah,
that as people. It's so wild.
that's totally true.
Yeah, when I got there, I was like super like introverted, like long haired, like listen to metal and read in his room type guy, and Jack was Mr. Socialite in the frats. It was
Yeah, I
funny.
was in a fraternity at the time. Yeah, yeah, it's really funny. I haven't thought about that in a long time.
Just like a mishmash of people, and I love that.
It's true. It's true.
And I think it's great that you guys were able to kind of rekindle because that doesn't happen often.
Hmm.
I think about the people I knew in elementary school and through eighth grade, and I still live in the same town, so it's like not hard, but it's also like I wouldn't like, you know,
Yeah,
start a band.
yeah,
with,
totally.
with one of
You could, you could.
I could. I have no musical ability, hence why I'm in this chair, not your chair. So, being in Arkansas, how is the music scene there? I when I think of Arkansas, I don't think of music. I think of the vine that says Arkansas. Maybe that's just me, so I could be very wrong. So I'm curious of what it looked like for you guys, especially in like the college area.
It was fun. It was fun being. I think one of the reasons that we got some opportunities to just be playing shows locally at the beginning is because there's not many bands um, like that were doing what we were doing in Fayetteville particularly, and so people when they were wanting a band that was playing acoustic music or indie music, they were like, let's have these guys come out. It was not very populated, but it did feel like people were excited about it. I mean, it's a small town feel where we were, and so it was most people. By the time we graduated, I feel like a good amount of people in Fayetteville were at least aware of us. We weren't really competing for attention locally with bands like us. Whereas if we lived in Nashville or LA or New York, there's 50 to 100 bands that are probably pretty similar to us.
Yeah, we like to think a lot about our friends that go to Belmont and Nashville, very music-y college, and how we would have just been swept under the rug there. Like we don't feel like
Yeah.
we're more talented than other people. We just honestly had kind of more space to do what we wanted to do,
hmm
which is
Yeah, I
awesome.
think right at the beginning, the fact that like we were a lot of our friends, they didn't know anybody else who was making and releasing music, and so it was just so exciting. And people were like, "Oh, listen to my friend's music. They're making music and doing this stuff." And so it was. I think just like there being like some local support and some steam behind it there, kind of just like inspired us a little bit and made us feel like we were doing something right.
Yeah, and kind of
They
the
duped us, convinced us that we were good at this.
and like the funny thing about University of Arkansas where we went, it's like every few years there's an artist that like breaks out and really makes it, and so we're really
It's kind
hoping
of
that
true.
we're the next one. Yeah, there's
That's
like don't know if you're familiar with like Ben Rector or
mhm,
Jake Scott or any of those. So they both
hmm
went to the University of Arkansas. So it's kind of like the
interesting.
funny thing. Yeah,
Pretty recently too. It's not even like that not long ago that either of them were there.
When did you guys graduate?
May.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Can I ask what your degrees were in?
Business.
Yeah. Business and communicate. I was a communication major.
So you guys are set up for good stuff here. You got
Oh yeah.
both
Yeah.
both fields here were great. I went to University of Central Florida and I did radio television, so makes
Awesome.
a little bit
Go
of sense.
Well,
Phil.
you're diving into the path of your degree more than we are, a little bit.
My day job is news, and
Yeah.
it's
It's fun.
something. It's
Yeah.
something. The last year has been like a shit show. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations on graduating.
Thank you.
And did you guys move? Well, I'm sure COVID had like a weird handle and all of that, but did you guys move to
hmm
Dallas before or after you graduated?
After.
After.
We
Mhm.
yeah, we lived in Arkansas until about a month ago, month and a half.
Oh
Yeah,
wow. How has the transition been?
it's great. We're both from Dallas. It's been
Right.
hmm
just feels like kind of going back to high school in a different
It
way.
feels like instead of we're like trying to work and be students and hang out with our friends that we live with. It's like, all right, now we have full-time jobs, which is making music, which is really fun. But I think moving was super helpful for that to really make that transition feel real and to have that kind of mental switch that like, all right, we like basically work all day and it's our full-time thing. So it was I think it was helpful in the past month.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, I'm very excited to hear what you guys have coming up in the future because I really enjoyed Baby. It was great. I adore
Thanks.
it. I love it. And thinking about your time in like the last like 2 years, when was the point that you guys really decided to kick it into gear and drop not only like Right Field One, but then also the deluxe part?
It's actually right when COVID hit. We were
hmm
like, well, we have all this time to figure out if we're good or not. And that's kind of what we did. We had some help when COVID hit. Like it's where when we found our management team found us and we kind of got connected with them and they gave us a lot of good advice who helped produce our album and that was kind of COVID. We were like, let's give this a shot. And if it fails, it fails. But if it doesn't, we did it, you know? So
Yeah. Yeah, it was probably a little more than a year ago, probably like 14, 15 months ago, when we really did have a conversation like that where we were just like, it's been pretty fun up until this point, but we could really dive in and kind of double the time that we spend on it and try to see if we could make that
Yeah,
transition
it
from a
really
hobby
wasn't
to a
serious
job
at all
slash
before then.
career.
Like we probably
I don't
put out
know.
6 songs
It was a
before then,
mystery.
but it was all just like, hey, we have some extra money. Let's write a song where I can go record it for fun and then put it out in 2 days,
Hmm.
And so
Yeah, it was kind of just like what once we had enough money in the right field bank account to book some studio time, then we'd throw a song together. It was fun. We had a good time doing it. We did it with some more of our friends, and it was awesome. But yeah, about a little more than a year ago was when we thought about making it a little more serious.
I think that is incredible. Number one, because it's like the perfect year to really like hunker down and like do so
It
and
was.
experiment and do whatever the fuck you want. And especially during a time where, anybody has the ability to like make a song right now. Like you could do it on your iPhone, like anything, like you really could figure
Yeah.
it out. But you guys did it incredibly, and when I first, like I said, I first heard that song, the first song I heard, I was so impressed, and I was like, there's no way these guys are just like hopping on the scene, and it was great, and like I said, I really enjoy your guys' music. And when looking you guys up, doing a little digging, some research, I found a quote, and Jackie said, "This deluxe album was experimenting with a broad spectrum of sounds and determining on how each song could really help determine your identity." How has that process been of finding your identity? Because you said in the last year, it's just been like, all right, we're
Yeah,
actually going to do it. How has
totally.
that
I
been for you
thought
guys?
it's been really fun. It's really exciting and cool to just like dive into the creative process like with a purpose of finding our identity. And I mean, like we kind of we really love the fact that Reed and I are different in a lot of ways. We grew up with different inspirations and kind of like found each other in random spots in our life, and so like the I would say the album was kind of us like really diving in for the first time and trying to figure out what it is that we do. There's like, I mean, the album's kind of all over the place, and it's kind of funny. Like it's the how genreless our album is, almost how incohesive some of the songs sound together. Uh, but it really was like, all right, we can write a song like this, and it's really fun, and we can write a slower song and make it really intimate. I wonder if that's what we like to do. It was kind of like just like 10 songs of let's see what we can do, and then now since that we've seen what we respond to the best out of all of that, what we can pull from the album to really like zero in on an identity as a band. And that's hopefully kind of will be the direction of our next project. We'll have some more just cohesive sounds, and I think it'll hopefully feel even more like Right Field than the last album did.
Absolutely. And I think one of you mentioned earlier having fun with it, and I think you can hear that in the this record and Baby, and
Good.
I think that's incredible, and that's not as much as you see, in a lot of these bands like coming up. It's like, oh, like I think of Lainey. I adore Lainey, don't get me wrong,
us
but
too.
but their
Yeah.
most recent record I just feel like wasn't like what I loved
Mm.
from Lainey, and like from like hearing self-titled. And like that's probably a hot take, and like I'm sorry if I just offended either of you.
No, no,
Oh no,
but
But
not offended.
everything we released since then has been so good.
right, right. So
So
like
yeah,
specifically Dancing in the Kitchen, like
oh,
I was like, this is I Love You So Bad, like this is like where I'm at. So,
I
so
think about
like I feel like I can feel that like fun you guys are having and how much you guys like actually enjoy making the music. And I like chef's kiss. That's
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Um,
honestly, and we kind of joke about this, but we like I mean we haven't been like producing and writing music since we were 12 years old. It's a pretty I mean we're kind of new to it, and in a lot of ways we really don't know what we're doing. Like we're trying to figure it out, and we're just I mean it's really fun to do that. We love writing songs and just the whole creative process behind it, but it like it hasn't like felt like much of a burden because we're just like trying to figure it out, and all of it's pretty fun and exciting. So I'm glad that that came out like that,
Yeah,
at least
we
to some
also just
people.
don't feel like there's a ton of pressure about it in a sense. Like we're honestly just really grateful that we get to put out more songs. Like that's like probably the
Hmm.
first thing I think about every morning. Like today I'm gonna work on a song that's gonna have my name on it. That's super cool.
Yeah.
that's awesome. And how has this cycle been for the release? If you could call it a cycle, I guess, because the last year has like been such a shit show. Um, but I know you guys do have some shows lined up with the Orphan, the Poet,
Hmm.
and Friday Pilots Club. And how is that? Is it really feeling like real and like you're
Oh,
actually fucking doing it?
Yeah,
totally. Yeah,
totally.
we're pumped. We've been starting to rehearse, and we've even got dates before that in August with a band
Mhm.
called The Unlikely Candidates. And so we're ready. We're really
We're
excited to go
pumped.
to a bunch of cities we've never been to. I mean, just thinking about September alone, we'll play more shows than we've ever played our whole life. So that's just really fun to think about.
That is so exciting.
Yeah,
And touring, are you guys excited? Have you guys done more than like a kind of like a week stint or so, or ish? Is this going
never
to be?
done more than a 2 day stint.
Literally, up
Um,
until this point, it's like, do you want to play this show? Yes, we want to play this show. We will drive to it and we'll play one show. And then now it's shows every day for 20 days. And it's going to be so fun. It's going to be like that. Honestly, this is the epitome of we don't know what we're doing, but we're just going to do
Yeah.
just full send it,
it.
full fucking
Yeah,
send
we're like, I
it.
Everybody's
think
like, everybody's like, what are you looking forward to the most about touring? Are you excited? We're like, I literally have no idea what's happening on this whole tour.
I promise we will play every
Yeah.
show on that list, but everything in between, I don't know
Zero.
what's going to happen. We're going to
We're
get
even
there.
not getting there yet.
We're going to get
Well,
there.
Yeah.
prayers up, boys.
Our only plan that we have is that for all the West Coast states, we're camping. That's our only
Oh,
plan.
sick!
Yeah.
That is so cool. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. My friend actually just so I'm in Maryland and my friend just made the drive out to Seattle with her boyfriend and
Whoa.
they're spending a lot of it like camping. And I was like, dude, that's
Hmm.
so sick. So that's really cool you guys are doing it that way.
Oh yeah, because the
Should be
run goes
awesome.
Seattle, Portland, San Fran, LA, San Diego. So we can just camp the coast the whole way.
That's exciting. I'm a little hurt. You know, I'm not holding it against you, but there's not a ton of East Coast. But it's
Yet,
okay. It's
yet,
okay.
yet,
Yet. Okay.
Yet.
yet.
All right. I'll hold you to that.
Yeah.
Please do.
When DC or Baltimore aren't on that next list, I might come fighting, but I'll probably see you in New York. I'll make it to New York. I'll do it.
Oh, please, please.
It'll be a priority. How far is Mar? I don't have a good. How far is that from New York?
I drove up there probably about a week ago or 2 weeks ago. It was 4 hours. Wasn't
Okay,
bad.
okay.
The
Easy.
train ride's
Come
like
home.
3. You know,
Hey, there
Easy.
we go.
there and back,
Well, we'll
no
we'll
problem.
see you there.
All
We'll
right.
see you there.
Um, so I'm gonna scroll back into some questions more about this album, and I found another quote, and you guys talked about having like a little creative pocket. Can you talk about what you mean by this little creative pocket of right field?
We kind of have developed a process over the album, I guess is what that's referring to. Is again, like this whole writing and producing and arranging songs and all that is very new to us. So we kind of figured out our strengths during the album in a sense.
Hmm.
So kind of the way that our process has, I mean, it's always evolving in different ways, but the kind of the way it's worked recently is Like I'll kind of come up with like an instrumental idea. I'll pass it off to Jack. Jack will then come up with a vocal idea, and then we'll expand on that vocal idea, instrumental idea. Then Jack will get a lyrical idea for it, and then we'll just like keep like narrowing down until we finish a song. So it's kind of fun where we really get to focus on the parts that we're going to do live. And so anytime we do something, we're like, can I see myself doing this live? You know, and that's always really fun to think about our live shows when we're writing a song in that way.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys mentioned your producer earlier, and I have the memory of a goldfish. But
Our friend Noah helped us with the album. Yeah.
And with Noah, big props to him for producing it. Is there any other producer in the world that you're like, one day, let's get it?
For sure.
Let's hear it.
For sure.
Andy Seltzer.
Andy Seltzer would be sick. I mean, even The Orphan and the Poet is doing stuff with a guy right now named Matt Squire, who's awesome. Super cool. Would love to work with him. Some of the, like, most producers are just too far from us right now.
Yeah.
We just don't have a pocket where that happens.
Our friend Adam, he produced Baby. He lives out in Nashville, and he's in a band called Arlie. He drums for them, but he's an awesome producer. Yeah, he's going on tour with Dayglow.
Sick.
In the fall. And but yeah, he produced Baby for us. Noah kind of came along with this and was in the room, and we worked on it us four. Yeah, it was a good time. Adam's awesome.
Do you guys collaborate with a lot of people in Nashville? Because I know that a lot of like this scene of music, whatever you may call it, all indie pop rock, all of the things are there.
In general, I would
What's
say.
that?
Yeah.
Sorry,
We don't collaborate much in general, I would say. Like, that's a pretty new thing for us. Like, we didn't have any other writers on our whole album but Jack and I. And so this has been a new thing, but anybody that we have worked with in music so far has been in Nashville.
Yes. Yeah.
It's awesome. And I mean, that's a great feat alone, is being able to say that you guys did all the writing on this first record. So congrats alone.
Thank you. It was fun.
And like I said, you can hear that, and like just a gem. Do you guys want to play a quick game of quick picks where I give you a very specific scenario, you tell me the first song that comes to your head?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
I'm gonna be honest, I already picked mine out.
Okay.
So I'll tell you mine first, so you guys have just a little extra time. But let's just do it. You are shredding it up at a skate park, and you fall face first. What song immediately comes to your head? I'm thinking "Downfall of Us All" by A Day to Remember.
So I'm thinking "My Friends Over You," Newfound Glory.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say Newfound Glory too. Anything on my Skate 98 playlist.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great playlist. If Newfound Glory's
we both have a Skate 98 playlist of different
We didn't
songs.
even. Yeah. We
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so in sync. Both of those. I mean, Newfound Glory alone is just like, you can't go wrong, especially for thinking of a skate park.
Chelsea by the Somerset.
Oh my God!
That's the song.
Wait a
That's the
second, you
song.
just took me back like 30 years.
Like the Warped Tour for me.
Oh my God, yeah. I was obsessed with the Somerset, and
Yeah, they had that girl drummer who could smash.
Jess
was-
Bowen. Jess,
Yeah.
I met her. She was playing for Tessa Violet. If you guys know.
sick.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was drumming on tour for her, and I was shooting the show, and she came up behind me, and I was like not thinking about Tessa Violet. I was just like, here's my Somerset, like dream. I'm like,
awesome.
I went up to her. I was like, just, you're a fucking badass. Like,
That's awesome.
That's all I got.
That's
That's
so
great.
great.
Let's see. The next one is you're at the club. You lock eyes with the most beautiful person you've ever seen. What song is playing? I'm thinking "Down" by Jay Sean. Just somebody. I don't remember his name, but it's like, "Baby, are you down, down?"
Oh yeah.
I can't remember who sings that.
That's great.
I would probably. We don't spend the type of clubs that we go to are like really, really musty pool halls.
Yes, as you should.
Songs, you know. So if I were to think about, I look across the room and lock eyes, it's probably like some type of like Travis
Nirvana.
Tritt or Willie Nelson song, you
It's
know?
like Leonard Skinner.
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
say I would say Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, Willie Nelson.
Yeah, I
Ooh,
would say "Love of a Woman" by Travis Tritt. That's what came to my mind.
Mm.
wow.
He was a
Yeehaw.
great mullet.
And I have one more. You're strolling down the streets of New York City at 3 a.m. and you're on the way back from a really great date. What song is playing? I thought of Dancing in the Kitchen by Lainey.
I can
Oof.
answer Jax, but I'm gonna let him answer it. But I'm gonna say.
I don't think I was gonna say Running by the Far Side.
That's what
Oh,
I was gonna. That's what I knew you were gonna say.
You knew.
I was gonna say
Thanks.
Jack's gonna say The Far Side. Yeah,
man.
yeah, but I'm gonna say Northern Wind, City in Color.
Ooh.
Nice.
City and Color. Wow. I I need to do a more recent deep dive because I listened to them a lot when I was younger, but I haven't recently, and I need to just change my life by doing that.
They're awesome. The album before this last one was probably my favorite. Really awesome.
Amazing, amazing. So I have one final question for you guys. Musicians have the ability and platform to leave marks on the world in very many ways, either bigger or smaller. What is the mark you guys want to make as a band?
It's
It's a
honestly a
great
question
question.
I think
Thank you
about a
for
lot.
asking that.
Yeah. I don't know if we have like a band mission statement, but as people or as personally, like what I want to do with music is just kind of like bring the gratefulness, I don't know, like the thankfulness back into it. Like I feel like I meet a lot of musicians or I'm around a lot of musicians that it's like kind of all about clout chasing and just getting to the next level and all that. And I would love to just like build more of a pocket of that pure magic of music, just in the purity of what it is, and somehow just expanding on that to where it's not about the industry or it's not about any of that. It's just like, this is awesome that we're doing this. We're sitting in a backyard, we're playing an acoustic guitar. Like, life doesn't really get better than the really simple, slow times like that. That's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah, and I mean, in a similar way, I think it's easy to kind of have the mindset, like especially the more that people start listening to your music, that like I am this gift to the indie rock world. My music, everybody loves me and my music, and but I think that we want to just kind of like Reed said, just continue to be grateful to be able to even think about making music, and there being any livable money involved with that is just the coolest thing of all time. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, we want
feel like,
to.
sorry, go ahead.
What were you gonna say? Oh yeah, I was just we want to make a point to make people feel welcomed, and like they're a part of this project and journey. That just that I mean the few like fans that we have right now, just a lot of them already feel like friends, because we've gotten to meet them at shows. We connect with them on social media, and we just kind of get to have that relationship. And it's not about something that they bring to the table for us. It's just like, man, this is a cool relationship that we get to build through our music, and we get to hopefully make people feel welcomed and included in this group, this kind of right
Yeah,
field.
we don't feel like we're a voice for the world or like we have something new to say that other people aren't already saying. You know, we love what we do. We love each other. We love other people, and
Hmm.
anybody wants to hang out, come hang out. Anybody who doesn't, they don't have to. That's all right.
Yeah,
You know,
it's true.
Very
just
well said. And thank you guys for hanging out today. Right field, thank you guys.
thank you.
Man, thank you for having us, Allie.